There are four main types of rock you'll find in San Francisco. Here's what they are and how to identify them, starting with chert. What we got here is banded chert. And it's a rock that once you know what it is, you're going to start to see it popping out all over the place in San Francisco. You find it basically in the south of the city where we have these large hills, such as across the way here. Things that give it away is, first of all, its red color. So I'm not sure how well this pops out in this video here. But the cherts in this part of California have a very reddish color. They can be many other colors, but here they're distinctly red. And secondly, they're banded cherts, which means that they have these really strong laminations, these strong layerings within that really pop out and make it look like basically giant sheets of paper in a book that we can see in the banded cherts. Some of the best places to see chert are Corona Heights Park, Twin Peaks, Glen Canyon Park, and Bernal Heights Park. Alright, so what we have here is basalt, and it might be easily mistaken for some of the other rocks we have around here because it's very fine-grained, which kind of makes it look like some of the Graywacke sandstone. Additionally, it's got a reddish kind of oxidation color to it, which could make it easily, confused with chert. There are a few things that give it away. One is that, unlike chert, it doesn't have this strong band, so there's no clear layering here. It all just kind of fractures without a discernible pattern. Additionally, another small thing too is I've noticed that lichen, or moss, or I'm not really a biologist, but I believe it's lichen, likes to grow on this rock in particular. So there's chert on the hill right across from me. No lichen there, but once we get over this hill, it's all over the place. So that's another kind of indirect way to tell that this is basalt. I researched this, and lichen prefers to grow on rough surfaces. So chert is not a good substrate for lichen growth because it's smooth. Sometimes basalt is called greenstone, which you can find at Land's End. Greenstone is basalt, lava rock that had erupted in a submarine setting. Basically, it's spreading centers far out into the ocean. Gotten pushed this way, and under the ocean as it was forming, some of the seawater got in there, altered it a little bit, partially metamorphosed it, and it gave it this green color, which is why it's called greenstone. Some of the best places to see basalt are Land's End and Twin Peaks. Graywacke is a strange rock, perhaps wacky. And the reason that's wacky, oh, there goes my son. The reason that it is wacky is because it has a fair amount of silt, clay, and sand all in the same stone, which you don't expect to find in a normal depositional environment. Instead, what this tells us is that we are at the edge of a continental shelf. Graywackes form, there's various ways to get them, but one is through a turbidite, which is basically an underwater landslide that mixes sediment of different sizes all together into one rock. Graywacke and other types of sandstone outcrop throughout Land's End and Telegraph Hill. So serpentinite forms in subduction zones, but it used to not look this way. In fact, it used to be mafic oceanic crust that through the cycle of plate tectonics gets pushed away from spreading centers to a subduction zone where that mafic oceanic crust meets felsic continental crust. And the oceanic crust is denser. It's got denser minerals, so it actually kind of sinks down beneath the continental crust, which is what subduction is. And as it happened, it went under a lot of pressure, and I don't blame it. I mean, it had all of North America literally on top of it. So in that high pressure environment, the minerals actually start to change. Additionally, seawater mixes in with the minerals, because remember here, this is right underneath the ocean that all this is happening. And it alters them into new minerals of the serpentine group. And it gives it this kind of, this greenish appearance, this waxy appearance as well, and its texture. And in fact, that's why it's called serpentinite and serpentine, because it looks kind of like a snake, I guess. Serpentonite is also the state rock of California, but it contains asbestos, so as best as I'm aware, it's still the state rock. Some of the best places to see serpentonite are Marshall's Beach and Potrero Hill. So to summarize, there are four main types of rocks that you'll find in San Francisco: chert, basalt and greenstone, graywacke and other sandstones, and serpentinite. Chert outcrops primarily in the southern half of the city around Twin Peaks. A little bit of basalt can be found in Land's End, but it's mostly adjacent to chert around Twin Peaks. Graywacke and other sandstones are mainly in the northern half of the city around Land's End and Telegraph Hill. And serpentinite is mostly around the Golden Gate Bridge and Potrero Hill. I hope this helps you identify rocks around San Francisco. Pay attention on your next walk. There are little outcrops all over the place, and figuring out what you're looking at can be a fun little game. And of course, thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more videos about the past.